Welcome back to the List Building Lifestyle. I'm your host, Igor Kafetz, and today we're going to talk YouTube ads. And I'm going to chat with somebody who was one of the first few people ever to tell me about YouTube ads and to be perceived in my eyes as a YouTube ads guru. Now, his name is Jack Larsen, and he's been doing YouTube ads at the very least since 2016, which means he's been doing ads YouTube ads specifically longer than most people in the industry, including the people who go around teaching this stuff right now. Jake, welcome to the List Building Lifestyle.
Igor, it's great to be here. Just a slight modification. I've been doing ads since 2012, right when the option became available. So we're hitting I'm hitting like our decade mark in terms of growing the agency and focusing on YouTube ads. But I believe we connected back in 2016 at a conference, which was probably where that came from.
Yeah, it was the Underground, Yannick Silver's and Douche Ramadan's Underground. It's the first time I met you, the first time I met Yannick Silver. Incidentally, also the last time I met Yannick Silver. You kind of appeared, gave a talk, and then sort of disappeared. Like, I don't think you stayed a while. But that was the day when I said, hey, why don't you come on our podcast? And we're like, yeah, totally. And we never spoke again for many, many years. So now we're here, and finally it's happening. So I'm pumped. So why don't you share with us, how did you even, 2012, nobody was doing YouTube ads, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anyone was talking about it.
It was brand new. And so I don't know if you or anyone listening remembers YouTube before ads existed, but there was a time on YouTube where they didn't have the in-stream ads. And just before that time, I loved creating videos. I loved helping people tell their stories. And there was a big frustration that came where we would make these awesome videos about a person or a company, and we would upload it to YouTube, organically, and maybe it gets views, maybe it doesn't. And it was kind of a frustrating process because you just didn't have any guarantees if it was going to work. So when I discovered YouTube ads, I was actually working at a company managing their YouTube channel, and we were one of 10 companies asked by Google to become YouTube marketing ambassadors. Because it was a brand new platform. They flew us out to the Googleplex and they said, hey, we have this new way of advertising. We think it's going to take out TV, like regular TV commercials. And they showed us how it worked. And it was awesome because you could see, one, your guaranteed views. You could see how long people watch the video. You can see if they click. You can see if they opt into your email list. You can see if they purchase. And so my eyes lit up. I'm like, this is so cool. We can guarantee views. And we can also see, based off the data, how our creative and our video is performing. And so, we got to a point at the company we were spending $20 on ads to get a customer that was worth $60. So it was like a 3-to-1 return on ad spend. That was really exciting for me. And then I had the decision to make as if I was going to stay there at the company or quit my job and start Video Power, which, since we're having this conversation, I think we know what happened. One of the challenges in that experience was before I quit my job, my wife was 8 months pregnant with our first child. And I remember having that conversation with her. I said, hey, I think this YouTube ads is the future. I've got a great case study on how it can grow business. I think it's time for me to quit my job and start the agency, start Video Power. And she looked at me, she's like, you realize we're having a baby next month. And I said, I know, I'm very aware of that, but I think this is going to work. If I don't do it now, I don't know when I'm going to do it. And luckily she's like, as long as we have insurance, you can quit your job. And so I made sure that we had the insurance and I quit my job. And
I can appreciate that.
Right. She just needed to feel that safety and security. But yeah, I quit my job. And
I think she was the pragmatic one in the family. You should have it. For many, many years, I didn't even move out of Israel. I don't know if you know my story, but I used to live in Israel and now I live in Canada. And the reason we kind of never went to the United States is because of this. I mean, I heard all kinds of stories from my students and business partners about like, oh, I broke my arm and went bankrupt, or my girlfriend's dad had cancer and the whole family now lives in a shoebox in between, commercial buildings. It's like it's terrible. It is absolutely horrible. And there's the reason why I moved to Canada, because free healthcare. I mean, free healthcare, but at least something.
Totally. Yeah, yeah. The whole the whole insurance thing is so messed up, I think. But that was like the safety thing that she needed to feel safe, and so again, I just made sure that we had it. In fact, I don't really tell this side of the story, but before I quit my job, I did a couple things. One is I got 3 clients on a 3-month retainer. And so I knew I had at least a 3-month runway. I could sell the service. I could fulfill on it. So that gave me confidence to quit my job. But also I hired a business coach because I'm like, I've never run a business before. And so I hired a business coach to help me expedite my learning process and accelerate that. So with the 3-month runway of proven clients, I knew I could sell it and deliver it. And then I had some guidance from business coach. So like, it wasn't like this super irresponsible decision on my part. I made sure that I was reducing the risk. And that's what we've been doing for the last 10 years is helping people grow their business with YouTube ads. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, YouTube ads is, I don't know if it's going to take out TV ads, but it definitely put a dent in them. I'd say. I'm loving YouTube ads. They are expensive though. Like, I don't necessarily recommend YouTube ads to a beginner. But if you've got the ability to burn some cash, and if you've got the ability to kind of go and sustain yourself over a course of time, not exactly like an infomercial business where you have to put down, $20 million and wait for 8 to 12 months to recoup that before you go into profit, but you do need this buffer to truly go into profit, and you probably can't really do it with like a cheap item. You probably need to do mid to high ticket stuff. But in terms of like the quality of the leads, it is absolutely one of the most badass ways to get leads for sure. Like, you pound for pound compare this to Facebook ads traffic, and the response you get on the back end from those, it's not in the same ballgame.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of quality of the ad or the video, when you look at YouTube compared to other advertising platforms, like uh, uh, when you advertise on YouTube, you're buying views, right? And a
Yep.
view is if somebody watches half of your ad or 30 seconds, whichever comes first. So if you see a
Yeah.
YouTube ad and you watch 10 seconds of it or 15 seconds of it and you skip it, one, like the advertiser isn't wasting their ad spend money on that because they skipped it before 30 seconds. And then the viewer gets to choose whether they want to watch it or not. So one, you're getting people are choosing to watch your video after the 5 seconds. So like they're
Yep.
engaged. And two, like you're not going to waste money on people who aren't interested. And in terms of comparing that to other platforms, if you advertise on Instagram or Facebook, a view is considered 3 seconds. So you get charged after 3 seconds of watch time. And then on top of like TikTok, a view is a second. Like you basically sneeze on TikTok and you get a view. And so you're getting a higher quality view.
No, but all things considering, if your video is actually 10 seconds and you get a 1 second view on that one, it's like you watch 10% of it, right? Because TikTok is super short form, and
yeah,
but I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. Like as far as the billing model as to what they charge us for as advertisers, I think that's super fair when it comes to YouTube. And it's for that reason that you see a lot of ads. Like, I got a buddy he's got at least, I don't know, maybe 2 million a month under management. He's a bona fide scientist who became a Google AdWords expert and agency owner, and a big educator in that space in a non-English speaking markets. So he actually told me, he said, look, some of your ads, you're just going on, and 30, 60 seconds in, there's still no call to action. You still didn't qualify me, like who you want to click on your ad, who you don't want to click on your ad. And, he said, why don't you, get an ad together, and then in the first like 3 seconds say, if you don't want to make money online with e-farming, skip this video.
Yep.
Or if you don't like, big lump sums of cash hitting your bank account, or something like that, skip this.
Yep.
Like for his agency, one of his ads starts with, if you're totally happy with your Google Ads agency, and you're not burning money, and if you don't feel like you're burning money right now, skip this. Stuff like that. Like he would really qualify and almost try to push back anyone who isn't his ideal customer. And by doing so, he will have more people skipping the video, but at the same time, the people he does pay for are more more targeted.
Yep. And the other thing I think of too is, I've spoken on several stages at events, and a lot of people use stages or speak on stages to generate leads or to generate clients. I was talking to somebody who speaks on stage, and he paid 20 grand to speak on a stage in front of like 500 business owners. And when you compare it to speaking, like on YouTube, you're buying like a CPM or cost per 1,000 impressions. So to reach 1,000 people for at least 5 seconds, you're going to pay anywhere from $20 to $100, which if you think about it, hey, you could reach 1,000 people and pay $50, and you got 5 seconds to deliver that message. Like, what would you say in that 5 seconds? And that's one of the important parts of YouTube ads, is if your ad's not working, chances are it's your creative. It's the way you wrote the ad.